Well, I was kind of debating as to whether I was actually going to start talking before anybody got into the stream or not. But I guess if I want to get any thoughts out of my head before like 45 minutes in, I should probably start talking now. Anyway, so as most of you who know Ark can see, I'm currently in the process of taming a Therizinosaurus. This is level 145. It is a female. I've tamed a Therizinosaurus before. However, it was much closer to home, and it was, I think, only level 140, not 145, but still, either way. Also, that Therizinosaurus died because I brought it into the swamp like a dumbass, and it was eaten by an enormous and unending just flow of direwolves. It was like a never-ending flood of them. So that happened. His name was Santa because he was chubby and he had claws. So Santa Claus. Yeah, I know. I'm just I'm a funny guy. Puns. I got them. Anyway, I'm kind of multitasking here. I'm taming a Therizinosaurus, but I'm also taming a trike. Now, for those of you who've seen my home base, you know that I do not need a trike. However, for those of you who saw my last live stream, my last video on Ark, you guys know that Ark has a bit of a thing about when you go too far from a unconscious creature. That creature will typically, for some reason, tend to just disappear without warning. Even between this video and the last one, what ended up happening is I was taming a high-level Carno to make... I have 3 Carnos already, but I wanted a 4th. I just needed to go back for, I think, some, food because I was starving, and also for mejoberries because I wanted to tame something else because the Carno was taking forever. And the Carno was just completely gone when I came back. It didn't die because there was no package with, the narcotics and the meat on the ground. It didn't wake up because my Argentavis, which I left back there, was not fighting it. So it just kind of disappeared, just like my Spino did in the last video. So that happened, which is always fun. What else? So yeah, so basically my whole point is that I didn't want to have to go back home for extra berry gatherers, plus the Therizinosaurus would have probably woken up before I got back. So instead I decided to just tame a trike, make the narcotics gathering a little easier. And as you can see in my inventory, I have a ton, well, I did have a ton of narcotics. I've used 400 on the Therizinosaurus so far, and I've got about 300 more. And the trike will help me get a lot more, which will be helpful. I basically, in terms of knocking out the Therizinosaurus, it was pretty straightforward. I got it stuck, as you can see, right between those two, the tree and then that tree stump. And I just fired at it because it was running away at me, running away from me. Something else notable, and I can probably show you guys this, if I can find it. Around here somewhere. First off, that's a level 125 Bronto, which I intend to tame at some point, because I have found, no other high-level Brontos. Not sure if it's over here, but there was actually another Therizinosaurus, believe it or not. And, give me a sec to find it. Where are you? You're an Iguanodon. I kind of want to tame those at some point. I want to tame one of those, if possible. I think it was around here somewhere. So should we go... Parasaur, the Carno somewhere? No. Was it over here? And there's another high-level Therizino somewhere. Anyway, I guess I'll find it some other time. Because I just straight up cannot tame 2 Therizinos at the same time. That would be absurd. I would need way more narcotics. But it was, I think, if I remember, I think it was a 150. Sounds too good to be true, so try not to trust my memory here, but, is that it over there? It might be it, right there. Yep, there it is. Level 150 skunk-colored Therizinosaurus. And it's a male, which would go very well with the female that I am taming right now. Because then I could breed them and just get the most overpowered baby Therizinosaurus of all time. Which would just be like 42 different levels of awesome, I think. So anyway, that's basically all that's happened between now and I guess the last episode. Did I tame something from between now and the last episode? I feel like I did. I tamed 2 Pteranodons since the last time, and I tamed another Dilophosaurus. Because you guys know when I was taming the Spinosaurus, my Pteranodon died. Which sucks, but I tamed 2 more female Pteranodons. They weren't incredibly high level, but with the new way that the levels are generating in the most recent update, well not most recent, but like in one of the more recent updates, where levels are no longer generating just by like 5s or by 4s, where I can get literally any level spawning from 1 to 150, it's become much harder for some reason to find high level creatures. And the only ones that I have found are leftovers that have not been killed between the update where that became a thing and now. I have a feeling both these high-level Therizinosaurus have been here for a while. I should probably check that trach. But basically, yeah, so I think Wildcard is trying to make high-level creatures harder to find and more important, more valuable, I guess, instead of just kind of a thing you find basically every day. Not sure if that's actually a thing, but I know it was really hard to find those 2 high-level Pteranodons, although they did happen to be like right next to each other. But all the other Pteranodons that I were finding were like level 20 or below. It was really weird. I found the occasional like 60, 70, and 80, but I didn't find anything above 90 until I got here. And I like scanned the map up until here. My base is like right. It's way over there. So yeah, I just like covered the shores, and I didn't find anything high level until I came across those Pteranodons. They were only like level 110, 111. But when I tamed them, they got a level boost, but they weren't as good as like my other Pteranodon. This guy is taking a little longer than anticipated, I'm not gonna lie. But hopefully it'll be worth it. My Therizinosaurus is, like 20% through, probably a little more. And once the trach is finished taming, I think that'll be pretty helpful. The only thing I'm worried about right now is that I only have 300 narcotics left. That's only enough for one more, full torpor bar for the Therizinosaurus, and if the trach doesn't tame before the Therizinosaurus runs out of torpor, then I might be in deep trouble. But for now, we'll just play it by ear. I will say, I believe last stream I said there are very few things more stressful than taming a Spinosaurus in Ark. The Therizinosaurus might be one of those things that are more stressful, because I think their torpor goes down just as fast, to the point where like the only slow part of the taming process is like if you crank in like a couple hundred narcotics so that its torpor bar will slowly rise and then quickly fall. That's like the only time you'll have... Is it still rising? Yes, it is. Okay. Doing good. Alright. But yes, for now I'm going back to ye old days of gathering berries and fiber by hand. I know, it's absurd. Don't need that, don't need that. Fiber is just, with the sickle, fiber is just so ridiculously easy to get, I just don't even bother keeping it when I don't need it. And I don't even think I need measure berries, but in case I run out of food, I guess they wouldn't be so bad, but I don't know. Doesn't look like I want to run out of food anytime soon. Like every now and then, I just kind of like, what I do is, I like explore the island and I just, tag, like mentally tag creatures that I want to tame. Like that Bronto is one creature that I've quote-unquote tagged. I should probably be clear, tagging is not a physical thing that you do in Ark, but it's like, I mentally tag them. Like, I kind of like take note of where said creature is, what level it is, and yeah, basically, just kind of, and stuff like that. Like, some of the creatures that I've mentally, quote, tagged are, that Bronto behind me. I've definitely tagged that level 150 Therizino over there. There are 2 Gigas that I have my eyes on, although I am definitely not ready to tame those yet, by any strategy. There is a level 130, by that river way over there, the one closer to home. That there's a Giga by that river. It's level 130, and I don't remember the gender though. But it is like if I can get that, that'll be so freaking unstoppable. However, on I think you might actually not be able to see. You might not be able to see it from here. But that's, you guys know where the lava island is. But you know how there's like a tinier lava island like to the right of it? Like over there, there's a level 140 Giga, which is just like, for those of you who know Ark, you know what I'm talking about. I have no idea how I'm going to tame that thing, but if I ever manage to, I'm actually going to declare myself the king of Ark. I'm sorry, like, that's just a thing that I'm going to need to do. Because I've just never, like, taming, like, a level 20 Giga, and I do know where to find a level 20 Giga. There's actually one on the main lava island. Taming a level 20 Giga is insane. Like, I have a level 220 T-Rex, and that wouldn't be able to stand up to a level 20 Giga. Like, I didn't actually know how insanely just difficult it was to tame a Giga up until a few days ago. I thought it would be kind of like just a more difficult T-Rex. Like, because it would be chasing you and you would need to knock it out, and it would take like a ton of narco arrows to knock out. Like, it takes something like 1,000 narco arrows. And, oops, I didn't do that. And I thought that would be the hard part, but apparently not. Apparently it shrugs off like 10,000 torpor in 10 seconds. So, not only does that make it harder to knock out, but when you have it knocked out, its torpor is going to drop like a friggin' rock from a plane. It's just going to, like, in 20 seconds, your tame could be all over. And it's kind of like the Therizinosaurus to the extreme. Like, you'll have it, you need to use the time that it takes to, like, raise its torpidity by using, like, a couple hundred narcotics at a time. Oh, shoot. Speaking of that, I almost forgot about the trick. Oh, crap, it's not a wait. Oh, crap. Oh, it's not a wait. Oh, if it's a wait, can I just myself entirely? God damn it. Please, please. Oh, come on. Oh, you're... Okay. Okay, you're actually fine. You're perfectly fine. Okay. Oh my god, alright. That was terrifying. Like, 1,006 different levels. Okay, anyway. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the Giganotosaurus taming. Well, I do intend to do that at some point in the future. I do not see it being anywhere in the near future. It will probably be... I will probably be ready to tame a Giga before I'm ready to tame a... Oh, it's on that lava island over there, I think. Like the smaller one. Yeah, that's definitely it. Where there's like when I'll probably tame a Giga like before I do the Brood Mother boss fight. Dude, what are you doing? Okay, good. But even so, like, it's one of those long-term goals, kind of similar to the Brood Mother boss fight, because while I'm definitely going to do it, I've got no idea how or when. I actually have a better idea of how I'm going to take on the Brood Mother than I do, you know, taming a Giganotosaurus, because I know the kind of squad I want to bring into the Brood Mother boss fight. As a matter of fact, I know the exact squad I want to bring in. And I don't have like 90% of them. The only creature that I actually have at the moment that will be going will be the king, obviously, the level 220 T-Rex. That's the only thing that I have right now that's actually going to be taking on the Brood Mother. Everything else, like my Allosaurs are too low level, although I will bring higher level Allosaurs once I've tamed them. And I have actually tagged a lot of higher level Allosaurs, close to home and far away. Like there's some I think just a quick fly that way by the nearer river. It's just like I want to take this guy will, if I manage to tame this guy will also take on the Brood Mother. But like I will take like 4 high level Therizinosaurs, 4 high level Rexes, 4 high level Allosaurs, which will be kind of great because it'll have the double pack boost going. Not to mention 4 high level Spinos, which I think will actually be the hardest thing to find, because once again, like just finding them is such a huge problem. Like that's why I was really mad. That was why I was really mad, by the way, that I lost that level 145 yesterday, because a really good high level Spino is just so absurd and difficult to find. Like finding that level 100 over there, it's still somewhere over there. It might even be on that very island. Is hard enough to find, but finding the level 145 is absurd. Knocking one out is even more absurd, and the fact that I was actually like partway through taming it when Arc happened, I'm not over that yet, you know? I'm not over it. But anyway, happy thoughts. And I think the last few things I'd be taking into battle would be like 4 Megalosauruses. The only problem with that is I have no idea where to find Megalosauruses. I've actually been playing this game for... Wow, I guess it's been like half a year? Dang. Yeah, I've been playing this game for about a little more than half a year, because I got it last Christmas. And I have not seen a single Megalosaurus. And it's really, really disconcerting, because I feel like someday I'm just going to be doing my own thing. I will have completely forgotten entirely about Megalosauruses, and then one's just going to completely just come barging out of the woods and just eradicate me. Now, crap. Okay, so for those of you who don't know how the boss fighting system works in Ark, I feel like I need to vent a little bit about the boss fight system in Ark, because it used to be I'm not going to say perfect, but at least used to be more interesting, you know? The way the boss fights work now in Ark is you get teleported into an arena, you where the boss is spawned with their minions and stuff, and then you fight. The only thing is, the only reason they have this arena and teleportation at all is that it's in order to limit the dinosaurs you can take to fight the Broodmother or the Megapithecus or the dragon or the Manticore. And I don't think that should be a thing, really. I'm fine with the arena teleportation and whatnot, but I just don't think you should have to limit players in boss fights, because the bosses that in Ark are interesting. I love the bosses themselves, but the thing is, it's like Ark is one of the most diverse games in terms of combat that I've ever seen in my entire life. You don't just shoot things, you don't just stab things, you don't just punch things, but you do all of that, plus on top of dinosaurs. And the thing is, you can do you can either shoot a boss, or you can attack it with the dinosaur. Those are the only two things you can really do. And that means that there's only one real strategy to fight a boss. Every boss, for that matter. And I'm just frustrated as a player because the way it used to be is that the boss itself would just be spawned in under their obelisk. And when I say obelisk, I mean those things. That's the Megapithecus obelisk over there. And they would just spawn under those things, and then you would attack them, and you would have a fight. And your army could be as big as you wanted, and it would just be a good time. I've seen it happen. But now and I also don't like the way they've limited you. You cannot bring in any flyers to anything except the Manticore fight. You cannot bring in anything with a platform saddle. So that basically leaves you with T-Rexes. And you know what? I could only bring in T-Rexes. That would actually be the best thing to do, because they would not die. But I want to have a diverse and interesting squad, so I'm bringing in the top 5 most damaging creatures in the game, which are the T-Rex, Spino, Therizino, Megalosaurus, and Allosaurus. And that's the only reason I'm actually bringing anything weaker than a T-Rex. And no, I can't bring in Gigas. I can't bring in Titanosaurs, although honestly, at that point, I kind of understand why. There's just so much that they limit in terms of the boss fights that I think, instead of limiting the players, I think they should just make the bosses, I don't know, different in some way. It's be able to stand up to a Giga, or stand up to flyers in some way or another. Instead of, I know one thing that people used to do to the dragon is they would just bring in, a high-level Argentavis, and then they would just stick at the dragon's tail, and because the dragon has a terrible turning radius, they would just destroy it, with the high-level Argentavis. I agree that players should not be able to do that. It's the freaking dragon. But, at the same time, over here? No, it's over here. Isn't it? I don't know. Where's the trick? Is it over there? That is the trick over there. Right. Yeah. Don't limit players. I would say just fix the bosses, honestly. Because, one person in the stream, hello. I'm just talking to myself, or people watching the video, about how Ark limits boss fights and stuff. So, that's cool. Yeah, so I'm taming a Triceratops and a Therizinosaurus at the same time, so that's pretty great. I forgot to check for him. How's it shortly? Probably. It's just taking way longer than I thought it would. Okay, back to the Therizino. What? Where are you going? This is the 5th time, Zeus. This is the 5th time. God. And you're gone. Okay. Well, that was fun. While it lasted. Alright. Anyway. So as I was saying about boss fights, I guess. Ark is... I just love Ark because of all the diverse creatures there are, and all the weapons, and all that stuff. Just the enormous amount of content that works in Ark. And the boss fights, like I said, you can't bring in flyers or anything with a platform saddle. That just seems like you should be able to, do something with the bosses to make them, I don't know, maybe more resistant to things firing from a platform saddle, or maybe make them more resistant to attacks by flyers. These are literally things that any programmer could do. I know this for a fact. I have friends who are programmers. And yet instead they just say, hey, let's just be lazy and decide to, let's just not allow them to bring flyers or things with platform saddles into the arenas. Now, I also see that the arenas are small most of the time. Like, a Brontosaurus is not going to easily fit in the Broodmother arena. I don't think, at least, if I'm remembering the arena sizes correctly. I haven't seen them in a really long time. But, I just preferred it the way it was before, when you could bring anything and... What? Oh. Yeah, I just preferred it the way things were before, before they limited all that. And I understand why they limited it, but there are just other ways of doing it, guys, that would keep the awesomeness of the boss fights and the epicness and the scale. I don't know. Maybe I should fight a boss before I give criticisms, but from what I've seen, they are really limiting the quality of gameplay there. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I've talked probably too long about that, and probably repeated myself at least 7 times on each point, but, moving on. What else do I want to talk about, I guess? I need more spoiled meat. Let's see. What else? I could talk about... Wow, that spoiled quickly. I don't know. I could talk about a bunch of stuff, really. I could talk about Ark mods. I'm kind of like a Ark purist, you could say. Like, I don't understand people playing... Okay, let me put it this way. I understand Slipgator playing modded Ark Survival, because he played 3 seasons worth of it, and I think he played it for, every day of his life for, a couple years. So I can see how you would get bored of just vanilla Ark when you're doing that. But there's so many YouTubers who just seem to, write off the vanilla game just because of its obvious flaws, like the building system sucks. In some ways it sucks. The concept works, but the execution wasn't great. And then they're just I understand mods that fix the building system, that fix things in Ark that just need to be fixed. There's the mod that adds a machine that just completely gets rid of fog worldwide, which once again I understand because a lot of people really don't like the fog in Ark. Which they might have actually gotten rid of because I feel like I haven't seen it in a really long time. But whatever, not the point. Oh, come on. How are you doing, buddy? I understand the, quote, fixing Ark mods. That's fine. But, Anunnaki Genesis, where you can, tame the bosses, the creatures go up to, level 10,000 or whatever, it it just seems a bit much. It kind of throws off the wonderful balance that Ark has. And I agree, Ark isn't a perfectly balanced game or anything, because obviously there's Giganotosaurus, which can literally take on 500 T-Rexes of the same level, but it's, they don't spawn very often, and they're pretty slow. So it's like there are some things the Giganotosaurus doesn't have going for it. The Titanosaurus can break down metal buildings, but it's not super aggressive, so... Ark, I'd say, is like, well, it's not even really an opinion, it's a fact. It's, like, is way more balanced than all the mods, not all the mods, but most of the mods made for it. Like, the mods that I've seen played where it, like, adds ridiculously brightly colored creatures, like giant pink T-Rexes, or red T-Rexes, or whatever, it's just absurd. Like, I don't know, I don't understand why people don't see it as a bit much. Like, they nitpick Ark for, like, certain reasons, and then they play these mods that I feel like perfectly exemplify the problems that Ark sometimes has to an even more extreme degree? I don't know. Some of the mods I actually love. Like, the Mythical Creatures mod seems really awesome, but not because the creatures in it are powerful, which I think they are, but because it just adds more content to Ark without completely throwing off the balance. Obviously, it's not adding anything as weak as a dodo bird, but it's adding things that can be killed by T-Rexes. Meanwhile, other mods are adding in, like, primal wyvern dragons that, like, just strike down T-Rexes with a thought. So it's like, I don't know. But, Ark mods just aren't my favorite thing most of the time. Whenever they're adding, like, more dinosaurs or more, mythical creatures, sure, fine. But, like, if they're, like, making super overpowered mythical creatures, cough, cough, or spawn mod, cough, cough, Minecraft. If anybody doesn't understand that from back in the day of Minecraft, like a couple years ago. Oh, man, it was a time. Anyway. What else? It seems like there are a lot of mods that just, like, completely throw off balance of Ark, and I don't much appreciate it. Yeah, I guess is that it I wanted to say? I feel like there's more I wanted to say about mods. I just find normal Ark more interesting. I don't know why. Like, I don't know. It feels like some mods just turn it into something else, like something that it's not. But I guess I won't, I don't know. It's whatever. So that's my little rant on mods. Once again, I think I repeated myself like 10 times there, but whatever. Yeah, so that's that. %, done. Might be okay. That's how this goes. Okay. I didn't check my screen, guys. You probably are fine through there. I'm not gonna go through 200. Yeah, you're fine. Okay. So if I can get both of these guys, that would be phenomenal. I don't need another Pteranodon, but if you're high level, I mean, 17, yeah, definitely. Definitely need that. Level 17 Pteranodon. Give me some of that. And I've even thought about taming, well, yeah, I've thought about taming parasaurs just for their eggs, because their eggs are good for kibble, for a few different creatures. No, not, I think just like 1 or 2 different creatures. Level 95. Level 90, level 15, See what I'm saying? Like, it's not a lot of high-level creatures going on here. Not gonna tame, like, I keep a running checklist in my mind of creatures I have and haven't tamed and how many I want of each. I want, like, if I can, I want, like, 4 of each useful creature. Even if that use is just, like, laying eggs. Ooh, okay. 30% done. That's good, that's good. This is gonna take a while, though. Crap. Wow, and I just realized I've been streaming for 40 minutes. This is absurd. Why do trank arrows do that much damage? Because he's only at half health. I'm just realizing this. My god, okay. But, whatever. I'll just keep picking berries, I guess, until his torpor gets really low. 25. I've already got... So I've got, like, 2 Lystrosaurs. So if I find... I would rather find a high-level male Lystrosaur than a high-level female. Because I've already got... Well, I've got 1 high-level female, and then I've just got 1, like, level 60 female. Just because I wanted another Lystrosaur. A Lystrosaurus, I think, was the first thing that I tamed. His name was Larry. He was actually, I think, like level 140 or something. But I tamed him, like, the second day that I was in Ark. I know, impressive, I know, I tamed a Lystrosaurus. I'm just, like, the best at this game, right? Yeah, definitely. But it ended up getting killed by a level 40 Carno, so... That was a thing. Oh, I suppose I could tell you the tales of my early days in Ark, the PS4. Let me tell you, man, it was a time. It was a time to be alive, and I'm about to level up. No, I'm not about to, obviously, but, So, like I said, Larry the Lystrosaurus was my first tame. He was killed by level 140 Carno. And that is when I learned the strategy of running and screaming to kill a dinosaur. I ended up leading said Carno to a level, I think, 125 Triceratops, which it killed because the Triceratops was stuck on a tree. And I'm not even sure if a 125 could take a level 40. I'm pretty sure a level 125 Triceratops could take the Carno, I think. So that didn't work out. And eventually, I led it to a level 145 Carbonemus, one of the turtle dudes, and that turtle killed it. And I was just in complete awe that a turtle could kill a freaking Carnotaur. But my god, I was not complaining. It was just so good. It was so fun and interesting, and it was great. Anyway, so... God. Naturally, because this is the hardest difficulty, I had so much trouble getting anywhere in this game. It was just like everything I did, I would just take 3 steps back and 1 forward. I was going backwards. And one day I just ended up seeing down, not so far down the coast, a level 80 Carno, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna let that kill me, because I had so much trouble with a Carno half that level, and hence that Carno became Carol, the Carnotaurus, and Carol is like my favorite Carno right now, and yeah, she is level 160 something now? I don't know. She's kind of a beast as far as Carnotauruses go. So I've got 2 more Carnos that are stronger than her, but you know what? We're just gonna ignore that because Carol's my favorite anyway. Okay, Carol is my favorite Carno, but Echo, my raptor, named after the Jurassic World Echo, that guy was he was, I think, my 4th tamed creature. 2 of the creatures I think I tamed before him were... No, he was my 3rd tamed creature. There was Larry the Listersaur, Yoshi the Raptor, and then there was Echo the Raptor. Larry and Yoshi were both killed by the same Carnotaur, and Echo was just a badass. And he survived, and he's still alive, and he's great. It makes me happy. Because Echo is just great and wonderful in every way. Yeah. And I've also got 3 other raptors, so I'm probably never ever going to tame a raptor ever again in my life. So that's good. So raptors, whenever I see a raptor, if it attacks me, I just kill it. I don't bother trying to tame it or looking at its level or anything. The 2 highest level raptors that I tamed were level 140, 145, respectively. And despite that, even if I see a 150, I'm not going to bother trying to tame it or getting perfect tames or anything. Just because they're raptors. Like, at this point, raptors are moderately okay for base defense, and not even really that at this level. I just kind of have them for eggs at this point. I should probably put the narcotics in there because I'm going to need to use those. Also, I need to visit my trike really soon. Really, really soon. Alright. Also, I think back in the day when the Therizino was a new creature, if I recall correctly, until the ARC devs fixed their taming rate and item pickup rate, the Therizino was a 56-hour tame. It's, I think, the longest tame in that exists in ARC right now. Even so, the Giga I don't even think takes as long, just because the Therizino is both good as just a killing machine, and as it's also like the best gatherer in the game. So the best gatherer in the game that has the ability to kill a T-Rex if necessary. So you can kind of see why it takes forever. At the same time, 56 hours is a really long time. That would be, unless you have like friends on the other side of the world, this seems like it would be a really impossible creature to tame on a server. Because your friends on the other side of the world, that'd be fine, because they'd be awake while you'd be asleep. And they could, hang out and tame the Therizino. Assuming they didn't have a job or school or anything, they could spend their days taming a digital creature in a game. But I think they have since doubled the taming rates. So Therizino take now 28 hours to tame, I think. Something like that. And even now I have the taming multipliers on, so this will probably take let's see, I've been doing this for I've probably been doing this for an hour and a half, so no. It'll probably take a couple more hours. I wouldn't say it would take much more than that though, because it's at 30%, 35 now maybe. 72%, come on, buddy. What is trade kibble anyway? I mean, it's not like I could actually get its kibble anyway. My house, like I said, is on the other side of the map, but out of curiosity, what kind of kibble do trikes take? I do not know. It's not it's not dodo kibble. No, it's not dillo kibble. Is it? No. I don't remember what it does take, but I remember it's neither of those. I'm tempted to just keep this trike out here, and not bring it back to base. Just because I want to tame that level 150 Therizino over there, and there's just no way I'm going to have enough narcotics left over to do that, so I might want to have an extra narcotics gatherer over here. And considering there aren't any stegos in the area that I can see, I think a trike is the next best thing. Um, actually, I could like, I don't know. One thing that I never did with my old Therizinosaurus, like I would ride around on my old Therizinosaurus, but I never actually like used him for gathering. I only ever used him for battle, and because I just didn't know how big of a deal Therizinosaurus were with gathering. I didn't realize they were good at like gathering literally every organic resource. Like the only thing they can't gather is like rocks. I think, right? They can't gather rocks. Right? Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. But I hear like I think what kind of shifted my mindset is like I heard someone call them like the end of a chain of an end of like a long chain of gatherers, and like really like are they better than a Bronto at gathering berries? Because if so, like I mean he might put good old Quaker, my Bronto, out of the job. If he does, I would be very happy. So that I can maybe use my Bronto as more of a rock/metal carrying platform rather than just a berry gatherer. Because it's actually kind of a pain in the butt to get the Bronto out of the base. So if I only need to like take them out whenever I need more stone or metal, I would be perfectly okay with that. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. And I already have a couple hundred. Major berries, fantastic. I think I did I'm not sure if I calculated exactly correctly, but I did the math, and I don't think it'll need any more than like 350 Mejo berries, which is what was in there originally. Because each Mejo berry does 0.4, I think, about 0.4 percent on the taming bar, and that basically, I think that adds up to like about 250 Mejo berries. But since I knew some would spoil, I decided to put in 350 because why not? Yeah, it's basically that. I could do one of those things where I do another tame at the same time just to keep myself occupied, but as boring as it is, I think gathering berries is more efficient at this point, at this moment. And I really need that trike to be tamed. Also, I guess one thing I can do is I can do names. Like, I don't know what to name the trike at all. I already have a Triceratops named Sarah. She's great. She's really low level, but she's fine. The Therizinosaurus, I have no clue. I guess for those of you watching the video, you guys can pick a name if you want. Or I'll go through the names that you guys suggest and see if I like any of them. I feel like having a trike with a name that starts with TRI is kind of cliche, so I want to try and think of something else. Like Trikesy Berries, I could name. I don't want to name it. This is a tough one. I don't know. I'm really not great with names. Like, it's either, like, if I come across a really powerful creature like Zeus was level 140 when I tamed him, I'm going to name it after a god, most likely. Like, I think, like, Zeus, the Greek god Zeus, his symbol was, like, the hawk, so, why not name a bird Zeus? I was thinking of naming a Giganotosaurus Zeus, but I think actually like a Titan's name like Cronus would actually be more appropriate in many ways. Mainly because Giganotosaurus, for some reason, I always see Giganotosaurus as like evil, just because T-Rex is like my favorite creature, and I watched a video where a Giganotosaurus took on 500 T-Rexes, and it made me sad, so I always see Giganotosaurus now as like the villain. with T-Rex as like the good guy, especially since Giganotosaurus will like turn on you if it reaches half health, which is nope. Hello, friend. Die now. Wow, that was level 20. That's just sad. Okay. I'm not actually sure what attacks a Therizinosaurus. Like, I'm pretty sure... I feel like... I don't know, because I've seen Dillos attack Chalicotheriums, and Chalicotheriums are just way out of a Dillo's league in terms of what a Dillo can kill. And I've seen Troodons attack Chalicotheriums. Once again, they're just not going to kill a Chalicotherium. It's just not going to happen. I don't know, like, I know nothing will, like... I know with carnivores, the way it works is they will not attack larger carnivores typically, although I'm pretty sure I've seen raptors attack T-Rexes on that island. Maybe it's just that island. I know for a fact that nothing will attack a Giganotosaurus, but I'm not really sure how it works between herbivores and carnivores. Like, will a Compy attack an unconscious Trike? Will a Dilophosaurus attack an unconscious Bronto? I don't really know. I feel like I've seen that happen, but maybe not. So I guess I'm going to stream just for like another 5 minutes or so, maybe a little less. Because it's kind of just hitting me how long this freaking thing is going to take. And my god, you need a dentist. Jeez. Yeah. And, I guess, yeah. Therizinosaurus is cleanly out cold. And life is going well. So long as I don't mess anything up, and so long as ARC doesn't happen, everything should go perfectly fine. I hope. How are you doing? 83%, and his unconscious level is rising. Fantastic. Also, I like really need to go to the bathroom, so the sooner the stream ends, the better. Wah, wah, wah. Once I have the trike, I think I'll probably try and tame something else. Like, since I have the trike, it'll be just so much easier to gather plants. Like, I can probably mow down every plant in that area. I might look for high-level parasaurs in the general area, see if I can find anything. Maybe an iguanodon or something. And I also will probably look up where to find megalosaurs because, I don't know, I'm at some point in the future hopefully going to have 2 high-level Therizinosaurs, and it'll be great. And I know where to find allosaurs, I know where to find T-Rexes. You can find plenty of high-level ones over there. You know, we found the level 150 in the last episode, the female level 150. But yeah, so I guess that's it for now, guys. We're just going to end the stream there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.